Hey guys, it's Shayla and Marie, and I am back with a speed build. I continue my obsession here with the Tiny Living stuff pack that just came out about a week ago, and this is going to be a tiny home on wheels. You'll notice that there is a ton of stuff already on the lot, and that's because I went through a bunch of debug items and just sort of pulled everything out of debug that I wanted before actually getting started with the build. So at the beginning of the video, you see a blank lot, and then all of a sudden we sort of pop over and see this giant space with a bunch of stuff in it. And it's just, I didn't want to bore you guys with watching me search through the debug menu and try to find a whole bunch of stuff. It was crazy. Because it also takes me a crazy long time to make this whole trailer thing work. I am not shy about the fact that I often take inspiration from other YouTubers. And this was definitely inspired by James Turner, who did an absolutely phenomenal job doing a similar home. And he had used this debug trailer, and I was just like, that is the coolest idea. And I had seen other people do like similar things. And I had seen other people use other items like size down and then like put against the walls to sort of look like a trailer. So I definitely took this idea from him. I completely sort of copied his whole thing. Hopefully not the rest of it, because I really just kind of saw him use this trailer and then immediately like ran to my game and started trying to build because I was just so intrigued by the whole thing. So anyway, if you do watch other YouTubers and you've seen other people do this, I'm sure that there are just an absolute ton of other people who have done stuff like this. It just happens to be that James Turner was the one that I watched. So disclaimer over. You'll also see me fiddle with this for so long, trying to figure out exactly how wide I want the home and how long I want it to be, because I still wanted it to fit into the tiny home. So note that that is a tiny home and not a micro home. I do have another video of a micro home, so if you are interested in watching me do that, I do have that video on my channel. And you can go ahead and watch that. I really loved the Micro Home Challenge, and if you haven't tried it, I would strongly advise you to do it because it is creatively challenging for sure. But this is just a tiny home, so we have a little bit more space here to do what we want. I had originally toyed with the idea of having that van sort of pull the trailer, but the difference in size, like the ratio of that van to the trailer, was just ridiculous looking. And so I just gave up on that whole idea because it just looked so silly. So again, just fiddling here with the wheels, still trying to decide how wide I want the home. The problem here that I'm having, that I really probably should have cut out of the video, is that in order to make this float the way that I need it to, I have to create a first floor and a second floor and then delete the first floor. And so this is the second floor, and I keep just lowering it down to sit on top of that trailer, to look like it's sitting on top of the trailer. But it makes it really complicated because then as I am building and moving things around, the trailer keeps wanting to auto lift to the second floor where the actual house is. So that's sort of all of this fiddling that you see happening. It's messy, it's not ideal, but if there are other people who were wondering how to do this and are experiencing sort of a similar issue, or wondering how people get their houses to be lifted up like that without having a foundation underneath, that is how this happens, because I know that I certainly didn't know and had to try to figure that out. So props to the first person who ever figured that out, because it is a lifesaver. So here, I really wanted this to look like trailer steps. I wanted it to look like a little staircase that would like fold down for when the trailer wasn't moving. So I chose that really metal staircase, and then just try to give this like a little bit of a porch on the back, but nothing nothing where like anyone's actually going to like sit out there or whatever, just because that's not really conducive to actually moving the build around. It really just doesn't make much sense. So just sort of putting a little railing back there, and then that staircase that would fold up, and then starting the actual build. First things first, I always start with these lights size down. I just did a build the other day and actually completely forgot to put lights in. Like until I was almost finished, and it was so weird because it's not how I build. I always put lights in first. So I was really like confused and thrown off. But I think as this tiny living pack has come out and I keep trying different ways to play with it and seeing how it fits into other styles of homes and seeing what existing build and buy items we have that coordinate or complement the tiny living stuff, I just get obsessed with like laying everything out and forget to put lights in. That's the only thing I can imagine is occurring. So here, just trying to figure out how to get this bathroom. I've said this in other videos with the tiny living package featured that other people do it like a 2x1 bathroom or a 1x1 bathroom, and I think it's phenomenal, but it's also really difficult to do and everything gets really smushed. And I know you can like size things down, but then it looks like they're like miniature things. And so I end up doing this way and then just putting a door there, and they are completely usable. And I realize that means that people are just using the facilities completely out in the open. One person lives here with her cat, and so I am not super concerned about her being able to like close the door, I guess. I don't know. This is sort of how I've tackled bathrooms in most of the tiny living homes that I've used, is just leaving that open. And I know it weirds some people out, but I don't mind it. Bathrooms don't gross me out, I guess. And it's the easiest way I can find to help her, like to have a sim just be able to get to things without having to cram everything really like super close together. And you can just see me play testing it. So it's clear that the sim can get in, they can use the restroom, they can wash their hands, they can use the shower. And then I just really struggled trying to place this curtain for a bit. And then I made the mistake of trying to move it around and just realized that was terrible and just I needed to leave it alone. So I put it back. But I do that with this idea, and again, I've said this in other videos, I do this with the idea that a sim would close that window or that curtain if they needed privacy. And I realize that doesn't remove the audible bathroom sounds, but I don't know. I guess it's just not that big of a deal to me. I don't know why I'm over explaining it. So again, with a mini fridge, I just think those mini fridges from Discover University are so perfect for tiny living. Not only are they a space saver, but they look like they fit, especially with those stickers. Like this looks like this girl could just like pack up her home and has like traveled other places and, you know, maybe picked up stickers or postcards from the various locations where she has parked her trailer. And so she just sort of sticks those on there. I just think it's really cute, and I'm really into it. I think I was trying to find a swatch of this curtain that didn't make me feel crazy. And there are other curtains, and I probably should have used one of those, but I end up using this one all the time for this. So the difficulty in trying to place this for me was trying to make sure that I wasn't putting a bunch of stuff in the middle of the space so that the sim wasn't constantly like walking around things, because I was thinking about this like if it was in real life, that floor plan would drive me crazy. Not just having like some open space in the middle. I think it would make me feel very cluttered and sort of claustrophobic. So I do play around here trying to make sure that there is some open space for the sim to be able to, you know, do the workout stuff that on TV or put the bed down. and use it as the actual Murphy bed that it's intended to be. And so I originally toyed with maybe using the back of the Murphy bed and the shelf like as maybe like a divider of sorts, I guess, between the living space and then like the kitchen area, but I gave up. I also kept trying to use this side table as a desk and not realizing why it wasn't working. And I think it's just because the side table and that desk look so similar. It's not the first time I've done it. It probably won't be the last. I don't know. I just keep trying to use it that way. So here, trying to decide the color schemes for what I want to do. I had seen this sort of, I guess it's like a mauve color or mauve, however you pronounce that particular color name. And I just think it's so soft and pretty and very in. And I just love the idea of that color. And so I tried to make everything sort of complement that, except the curtain, which I am now realizing just doesn't go at all. And I don't think I change it. So that's awesome. This is in the gallery this way, if you're interested. I think trying to find windows for the tiny homes and the micro homes is particularly complicated because the windows can look so almost obscenely large in those spaces. And obviously, you want natural light, and natural light does exist in real life in these kinds of homes. It's just, it looks really weird in the game sometimes. So I spend a lot of time in these homes and using the tiny living pack trying to make things look realistic, but also make sure that like there's enough daylight and things. I'm realizing that I had put the shelves over the window, so end up moving that. I tried to put it so it matched up with the shelves that had snapped to the grid, but I didn't like the way that it looked, so I put it up above the dresser because realistically all the things are close enough together that really could be functional for someone to use it that way. She does have a cat, and so I use this little cat planter because I think it's so cute. And like in real life, I would never, just because, first of all, I can't keep plants alive, and so I would just not have a planter. But I'm not really I don't gravitate towards things that are like animal shaped, and so it's definitely not my vibe. But I think it's just so cute in this game. So here I'm just picking out some clutter items, trying to make some decisions about what kinds of things this Sim would need as she's traveling. Now I'm realizing as this, she really was to, and she can't in the game, but if she really was to pack up this trailer and move it, all the stuff that's on the shelves would have to come down because there's no way all of that's staying put as the trailer is rocking, as it's like driving down like a highway or something. I know this from experience. Things do not stay on the shelves in those moments. So all of that would have to come down. But if she has this parked and is just living out of it, I think it makes sense that there would be a ton of stuff on shelves because that's going to be the easiest way for it to be readily available for her. And why not use your living items as decor, when you have not much space? It's kind of just how it has to go. So, yeah, it's at that moment that I realized that the desk wasn't a desk, that I had used a side table as a desk. And so I had also run out of money. So I give her some more money, and then I actually find the desk and get a chair. And then I believe I move the laptop over back to the desk instead of keeping it on the dining table. I'm just so thrilled with the way that this came out. I think it's really cute. And I have played with this house, which is not always the case for my builds. I don't always end up playing with them. I don't know why. Just sometimes I build the house and that's really all I want to do. And I've always been that way with The Sims, where there are days when I feel like playing and there are days when I feel like building. And the days that I feel like building are I just feel like building way more often than I actually feel like playing the game. So I end up building a lot of stuff, and there's just no way that I could use it all. And sometimes I use things that I just, in my own aesthetic for the characters that I create in this game, it's just not really my vibe. And this really isn't my vibe either, but it's just so unbelievably cute. Especially with this backsplash, I'm in love. So I did end up play testing this. A lot of the things that you see in the yard, like the clothesline, are not functional. They are from Debug. So they were really just for show. It's just to look like she had parked this and had done laundry. I don't believe that I enabled laundry on this particular lot. I didn't put any of those items down. I like the idea. This sounds so weird. I like the idea of laundry in the game, but sometimes I just find it really kind of like maddening, and so I don't play with laundry a lot, but I really like it being part of the game. I don't play with it. Yeah, so when I found that clothesline in Debug, I just like, yes, that's what I want. I want it to look like she's done laundry, but I don't actually have to have her do laundry. I also found those mailboxes, which are just so unbelievable. I don't know who made those. I don't know who created those, but they are awesome. So basically I ended up trying to create a fairly natural looking terrain with some landscaping items that look like they would be actually found in the desert. Things like rocks and cacti, just things that don't look so out of place, and it looks like, things weren't necessarily disturbed when she moved in. And then just putting a roof on this. I was trying to make the trailer look like a trailer and not a home on wheels, but I play with the roof a lot trying to figure it out. I think, so my inspiration for this, besides just watching James Turner make something like this, was those, what are those, like, silver trailers, and they are just silver and metallic, and they have a very rounded, they don't really even have a roof, it's just rounded metal, and they're kind of vintagey looking and just really cute. And that was kind of what I thought of when I was trying to build this. That's what I was trying to create, was that sort of essence. I tried to put these plants outside, but I got tired of it, and it wasn't really working, and I just got fed up. I didn't feel like moving it anymore. I did put some plants down, not a ton of them, but enough that, like, if she were to pack up the trailer and move, it seemed logical that she could put those inside the trailer and travel with them and then bring them back out. Like a way to make a place homey, but not look like it's been lived in for too long. Because I kind of get the sense with this, I was trying to build the sense, I guess I should say, with this, that this person doesn't stay in one place for too long and is very much like on the go and kind of just travels all over the place. So I wanted everything to look as if it could be easily packed up and put in the trailer. Like these lights, like she could park the trailer and then like string these lights on the side and just make it look really homey and fun and cozy. But at the same time is like completely logical. I hope that makes sense. And I hope like I've actually succeeded there. So I'm just finding some little aesthetic items and build and buy just to kind of see, like an air conditioning unit and other things that would be like on the outside of the trailer, things that would make it like more comfortable for her to live. I probably should have put the garden hose, but I didn't. I love the garden hose, but I forget to put it in my builds a lot. So yeah, just kind of searching through all of these items, trying to make this look as comfy and cozy as I possibly can. I've been doing this a lot. I've been building so much. And I build often anyway, but ever since Tiny Living came out, I've just been building multiple things a day, which is fun because I do have a full-time job. So I come home and like all I can think about is like trying to build the house that I was thinking about before. So it's been a really fun addition to the game. I definitely strongly recommend it. One of my favorite packs. I just think it's beyond cool what they've managed to do with this pack. And like, yeah, it's just amazing. I'm such a huge fan. So here I'm just finding those little pink curtains. Again, she ran out of money because I packed so much stuff into here. But just trying to put like some little curtains so that there could be some privacy. If she was ever parking the trailer in a more like residential area versus parking out in the middle of the desert. So here, just play testing it a little bit, just kind of making sure that everything functions. Unfortunately, that triggered the welcome wagon, so then a bunch of people ended up coming over. As I often realize as I'm playing that I didn't put in a smoke alarm, so I have to do that. And I am also not seeing a trash can. Which I don't know if I noticed before I loaded this to the gallery. So if I didn't, I'm really sorry. Like many other builders, I appear to have forgotten a trash can in my build. That is unfortunate. But I did end up uploading this to the gallery. I think I called it Tiny Home on Wheels because it is a tiny home on wheels, so it's a bit on the nose. But I had so much fun with this build. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it and hearing a little bit about my thought process behind the design and my inspiration. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing to my channel. It means so much to me, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day or night wherever you are.